I've been trashing the Grammys ever since 2016 after that garbage. I don't know if you guys remember all that stuff. If not, just go back. You'll see the garbage that happened there. And I was like, oh, so they know about this stuff and then they just ignore everybody, right? But the thing at the end was so gross. Like they were like something about kids promoting music with kids and this and that. And I'm a child victim in the music industry, so I was just like, I'm disgusted. So like you guys kind of want to touch on molest all the kids up in here, and you ignore all women that got assaulted. Basically, what that means is those guys are predators, and when they do that whole like ignore thing and then just put the guys on there anyway, yeah, the people that are supporting that, yeah. So, yeah, it just outs them right away. But this guy was so annoying, dude, and I guess a couple of other people went after him too because he made some comments. Anything that comes out of his mouth is so annoying. Like, I just pulled up something even from 2017, and he's like one of the, I guess he's like this total, like, spiritual Buddha, that type of dude. But then he's also allegedly a rapist, right? And then he, like, tells women they need to step it up. I think that was one of the comments, but I'm not even pissed. I didn't even hear that one. But the rest of the stuff that he said is so ridiculous, and the whole thing of we are one. I'm like, no, I'm not a rapist. If you're on your own, dude. Yeah, he's like this annoying, sappy, this dude, right? So anyway, he makes the media today, and I guess he's like removed himself from the Grammys now. I don't know, but I was like, I wouldn't even know who half these people are if this stuff that happened right then. I was so annoyed by it though. I was like, this is unreal, and it goes to show like the house that they cover. I mean, they promote these guys, they protect them, but they're also the rapist. I just want to make that extra clear. So anybody I've pulled out on here, yes. When have I been wrong? I've never been wrong. I've never been wrong about any perpetrator or any problem with these people. No. Mm-mm. Now, there's been people I haven't paid attention to, and then I catch them later. I mean, how they're all out here, dude. There's too many of them. What does it say? It says the woman who was not named in the lawsuit said that she was drugged by Neil. I mean, his name is Neil. Do you guys know that pastor guy that tried to, do some crazy stuff to me when I was a little kid? His name was Neil too. I have a weird thing about the name Neil. It kind of brings vomit to my mouth. And that the Recording Academy was negligent in investigating her complaint. Call me shocked. Call me shocked. The Grammys. So I had an issue with them in 2016. So guess what happened here? Okay, so the former head of Grammy Award was sued on Wednesday by a woman who said he drugged and raped her in a New York hotel room in 2018. Just a little later, right? Uh-huh. And I was like flaring about, on social media. I'm like, oh, F the Grammy, this bullshit. Like 2 years prior, right? That was the first time I did, actually, because it was the first time that I seen this garbage that happened, because no time prior to that would they put these people. Anyway, there's some drama there. The suit filed in New York State Supreme Court in Manhattan accuses Neil, I call him Portnow, who stepped down as chief executive of the Recording Academy in 2019, right? So now he steps down in 2019. I missed this, I think, I don't know, probably because, targets, of sexual battery, and accuses the Academy, the nonprofit group behind the Grammys, of negligence. The suit does not name the woman, but it describes her as an instrumentalist from outside the U.S. who once performed at Carnegie Hall. The court papers include redacted correspondence she had with the Academy in 2018 regarding her complaint. The case harks back to a tumultuous, am I saying that right, period in the Grammys' recent history when Mr. Portnow left the institution, and after saying that women in music should step up to a greater recognition in the industry. Yeah, that piece of crap. Yeah. Okay, so oh yeah, if I say something negative, it's hate speech. Yeah, I hate him. Okay, so his successor, Deborah Dugan, was abruptly terminated in what she called retaliation for accusing the organization of a range of abuses, including a cover-up related to the allegations made in the new suit. Those incidents shook the Recording Academy and the wider music industry, but the woman who accused Mr. Portnow had been publicly silent until now. Well, first of all, you guys brought on perpetrators to your damn bullshit when everybody knew, because I started telling other groups of people about what these people did. And so what did you do after? Oh, you bring them on. Okay, yeah. So that was the addition to it. That was my first initial gripe to this thing. Neil Portnow gives lip service to women as standing up. And then Jeffrey Anderson, a lawyer for the plaintiff. But he does a disservice to every woman and every musician who is being oppressed by him and others. This is not just about Neil Portnow, and not just about the Recording Academy, but about the culture and music and entertainment industry and its double speak about rape and abuse. Oh no, as long as they like the music, but this goes to show even female musicians, as long as they're friends with them and it's only about them, then it's serious, right? Yeah, we've seen this conduct throughout, okay? So if we're not one of their pals up in here hanging out and they don't know you, then all of a sudden they don't give a shit. But anyways, yeah, that's been going on. I was like, who would want to be friends with these people? Like, because I over here, on the other hand, had actually been supporting people I've never damn met. Isn't that amazing? I wonder why there's this double standard in that. Should I stop? I should, but no, it would actually harm me by doing that, basically. It becomes this total retaliation thing, and then we get nowhere, right? No. In a statement, a representative of Mr. Portnow called the allegations false and said they were the product of the plaintiff's imagination. Oh, now we're going to gaslight her. Awesome, dude. Yeah, that means that you have no defense. As part of your imagination, she crazy. And undoubtedly motivated by Mr. Portnow's refusal to comply with the plaintiff's outrageous demands for money and assistance in obtaining a residence visa for her. Oh, that's the best you could do here. I was like, did he? Yeah, she just randomly came to him. She's like, hey up, dude, you need to give me my visa, honey. Like, it was probably using part of some type of lure here, but anyways, he's like, I'll help you with that if you come over to my hotel. It may be something like that. He's like, look, I got proof. Yeah, you're that. If you have proof of any of that, it's not going to look good on you no matter what. We're just putting it that way. The latest incarnation of her accusations, he said, offers a new and improved story padding with even more outrageous and untrue allegations. This defense is sad. The Recording Academy said in its own statement, we continue to believe the claims to be without merit and intend to vigorously defend the Academy in this lawsuit. See, and women should be very angry at this, because they're trashing a victim big time and trying to say that this isn't true. I mean, this is actually what he did in it is just so ridiculous. It says, in the suit, the plaintiff says she met Mr. Portnow at the Recording Academy event in January 2018 when the Grammys were held in New York, right? He invited her to the ceremony and later told her he would return to New York in the spring, and she asked to interview him then for a publication she had started. That June, when Mr. Portnow arrived in the city, he told her to come to the Kitano Hotel on Park Avenue where he was staying. According to the suit, Mr. Portnow greeted her in the lobby and brought her to his room. So there he gave her some Grammy memorabilia. This was the part that I was like, oh God, because it reminded me of the bullshit from the other team, the people that he had on. This is the bullshit they did to me, like when they had me meet up at this thing and they brought me memorabilia, and I was like, oh God. So anyway, he's like doing that. He's like, I'm at the Grammys. Here's some memorabilia. I'm a big you-know-what, including a toiletries travel set, which is hilarious. I have no idea why that was an addition. And a CD with a signed note. Is it from him? This is for you. and offered her a glass of wine. Didn't the Harvey story come out right here? And then they were blaming us all for going to a hotel. Anyways, I'm not blaming her for going to a hotel, but I'm just saying, he's the one that had her come over there. He already knew the story, right? Because here's it, like his mindset, okay? Because everybody's talking about all the Me Too stuff. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there was stories already in this time period. I'd have to go back, but yeah. Anyway, he pulled a Harvey here, basically. She drank, but he did not, and she says in the suit, and she began to feel woozy, had trouble focusing her eyes, and began to lose control of her body. And she asked about the wine, but Mr. Portnow ignored her. And when she said she wanted to leave, he responded that there was no taxis available to take her home. That's scary. I mean, how was she supposed to leave anyway? Even if she was like sober, right? Like, I mean, whatever happened here, because maybe, yeah, he drugged her. So, huh. The suit says that Mr. Porknow then told the woman, I have been thinking about you for a very long time. Oh, here we go. Before she lost consciousness, and then she woke several times throughout the night to find him sexually assaulting her, including forcibly penetrating her, according to the suit. And she still felt woozy the next morning and exited when Mr. Porknow left the room to attend a meeting. How nice of him. According to the suit, the woman was confused and conflicted, given his prominence and stature in the music industry and the Recording Academy. It says she filed anonymously to protect her privacy. Mr. Porknow is described in the court papers as having ignored several attempts by the woman to contact him afterwards. Several months later, she emailed officials at the Recording Academy telling them that she had been sexually harassed by Mr. Porknow. In an interview with the New York Times, the woman's lawyer said she gave her account in detail to Grammys officials. The Grammy officials. The complaint includes an image of an email from a lawyer Mr. Porknow sent in November 2018, relaying what it said was a personal message from Mr. Porknow to the woman. Please know that I have always respected you in every way at all times, both professionally and personally. Isn't that weird? Just that comment. He's like, please know that I have always respected you. I'm going to tell you that I respected you. You can't tell me that I disrespected you. I have always respected you in every way at all times, both professionally and personally. So now he's admitting there was a personal thing going on here, right? Mm-hmm. The message reads, I remember you're indicating your interest. This is weird. I remember you're indicating your interest and belief in the teachings of Buddha. I died when I read this because there was another perpetrator that pulled this Buddha crap on me because they assumed that I was like all Buddhist or something. Because I was like, at the time, I think I was like into like meditation and stuff like that, but they just assumed like I was this big time Buddhist. And they started making up lies about a Buddha tree. Like that dude, it was so crazy. So when I was reading this, I was like, oh, they must be friends. He's like, and I found this saying which resonates with you now. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. Oh, God. The woman later filed a police report naming Mr. Porknow, according to the suit. But lawyers for the woman said in an interview that the district attorney's office, without elaborating, had declined to prosecute. The woman's accusation was first made public in 2020 when Ms. Dugan made a brief mention of it while challenging her dismissal from the Recording Academy. Mr. Porknow's step-up remarks 2 years earlier, made at the peak of the Me Too movement, were widely condemned and inflamed long-standing complaints that the Grammys had failed to properly recognize female artists. A number of prominent women in the music industry called for Mr. Portnow's resignation. We have to keep empowering the rapists, all right? Okay, so Miss Dugan, hired as a change agent, okay, had worked at the Academy for only 5 months before she was placed on leave, days before the 2020 ceremony. The Academy said she had mistreated an employee. But in a discrimination complaint filed with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, Ms. Dugan called her firing retaliation, and her complaint included mention of an unnamed foreign recording artist who had accused Mr. Portnow of rape. On Wednesday, Mr. Portnow's representative said that after the woman's initial accusation, he immediately enlisted the Academy's HR department to review the nonsensical text messages and emails that he made immediately available. And outside independent investigations led by top-tier lawyers reviewed all the relevant texts, emails, interview witnesses, and found absolutely no proof to support any of the allegations. Well, she said that you guys went to a hotel, so I mean, who the hell is going to be there? Was there anybody there? I don't think so. So everybody is not witnesses. Okay, but the woman's complaint this week said that she was never interviewed as part of any Academy investigation. Yeah, I mean, if you're the victim, like you should be one of the people spoken to, but the suit accuses the Academy of negligence, saying that the organization failed to monitor Mr. Portnow as its employee and failed to properly investigate the woman's accusations or take appropriate actions against Mr. Portnow, and he left the Grammys in July 2019 at the conclusion of his employment contract. The lawsuit comes just a few months after Grammys revealed the financial cost of its conflict with Ms. Dugan. As part of its most recent disclosed federal tax return filed in June, the Academy said it paid Ms. Dugan a total of $5.75 million in its 2021 fiscal year, which ended in July 2022, calling it a legal settlement and severance. Since Mr. Portnow left the Academy, he has also received a substantial payment. According to the most recent disclosure, in the year that ended in July 22, he received a bonus of $800K. Who do we have writing here? Ben Cesario covers the music industry. He's been writing for the Times since 1998. Anyways, this was annoying, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's true. Just because the stories were like, oh, I was like, oh, that actually happened over here from the people that they love. Yeah, I was like, no wonder they relate with each other. They're like, I'll say my story, right? And it's this rapist here also that listens to it, and he's like, what's your problem? What? I do that all the time. I bring women over in here and I give them memorabilia and then I prey on them and knock them out. Don't we all do that? All of us men do that. Then we like use religion in some way to like prey on us more, you know? It doesn't even matter. It's like, oh, Christian. The Buddha one, though, is just too much because that actually did happen over here with somebody. And I was like, oh, here's this guy. The new agey type of dude. We are one. Yeah.